One thing that people have to remember, Ollie, is this side, like this full side as a full 5-man, have only played Oregon as a map. We don't know what they're like in Chalet. We don't know what they're going to be like whenever we head over to Villa. This is still new territory for MnM, but we know the history of the players. We know, we've seen these players play on these maps before. Like, I think to EUCL, we've seen Tyrant play Chalet inside of EUCL. Guy dropped 16 kills or something like that. We know the caliber that the players have.
Yeah, we know the capabilities. Thatcher coming through as the first ban. You know what I took away from that desk? My big takeaway? You want to quieten up Chambers for a few seconds? Give him some sweets.
Give him food. All right, we'll remember that.
Chocolate-coated fruit.
Sorted.
Of some kind.
We're not treating him like a pet, are we? We're going to just feed him, he's going to be good.
Just pipe him down a little bit. Pipe him down. Maverick coming in as the next ban. Valkyrie, no surprise. Nothing really jaw-dropping here about what we've got going on in front of us.
That was a quick lock into the next ban for MnM, and what's it going to be? Wamai. Again, fairly standard. Mira open, but maybe not the greatest of sights for Mira. We see a lot of Mira windows can just be opened up from below, use the verticality. Not as if there's any big power position Mira windows that just are a nightmare to deal with. So yeah, pretty run-of-the-mill, no real surprises. I think both teams just comfy, I would say, more than anything with their bans. Comfy bans, maybe the opposite of funky bans, we could say.
Comfy bands versus funky bands. I might catch on that.
Might, hopefully.
I mean, let's be honest, a Thatcher Valk. It's as comfy as it gets.
It is.
That's a pair of sweatpants, big baggy hoodie, hood up, socks tucked in.
You're describing what you go downstairs to get your breakfast in.
That is me. Absolutely. Getting ourselves into the action now. We do have MnM starting off on the defense. Going to be taking us down to Bar and Games to kick things off. Very popular to see Bar site brought out as site number one. It's a
good site.
It's a fan favourite. And on paper, it's not that it shouldn't be, but there's a big weakness in that double window, and you can sometimes see opportunistic teams that are going to try and take a little bit of advantage of that. But there are no flies on MnM. They're in there with a Frostpick.
They got the Frost, yeah. So I'd add on to that. Whenever you know that could always be an option, I think Ascend with how they played during the group stages, they're not afraid to get reckless. I mean, yes, we can highlight Revenant Enemy, who, of course, are the two most experienced players in the lobby that we have by a country mile. But the other three, I'm looking at Melu, I'm looking at Ease. Those two guys were, born and bred with, I don't want to say, the rank style. Do I say Joe style? Very Joe-esque. If he sees an opportunity, he will kill 5 people in a matter of seconds. That is what both of those players can bring to the table. So you wouldn't be surprised if you see something like that happen.
And they're the sort of environments that build great players. You talk about starting
in the trenches.
In the trench, in the rank scene. That's really where you get that game sense that you just can't get from anywhere else.
Exactly.
You just do not get that confidence or that game sense. And you see those plays starting to trickle on through. For the meantime, MnM just getting pushed out of position a little bit. It's a great job that Ascend are doing to sort of corral these players straight in there with a drone into library. Already got a lot of crossfires being held here. The best thing about Chalet for the attackers is these exterior angles, It's being able to get out and repel, cut through on the windows, and then nade on in. Already, we're seeing a bit of result there.
Yeah, the nades are going to be massive for Chalet. Whenever we're used to seeing like an off-site hold every single round for the defenders, nades are going to be, incredible. I think we've seen again this Fink to Iana combo. Fink, I think, is the 6th most picked operator that we see inside a Challenger League. You would never have seen that 6 months ago. She has been just on a constant rise where you have the spear, a great weapon to take fights with, the Gon 6, the double nade. So much utility that you can really put out. Solotov with the FMG9 smoke actually trying to fight back against these guys in library. However, cannot finish off the kill onto the Flores. He has to back away now and fall back to a better position. So upstairs is essentially lost now for MnM and Ascend. They've done what they've needed to do.
They've taken library control quite quickly there in the grand scheme of things. There's a long time for MnM to hold on. Already, you can tell that Users, he's got itchy feet. He knows that there's a flank on. He knows that there's potential for somebody to be cutting him in through downstairs, but he needs to be aware of that. And there's maybe equal potential for someone like Neo to get something done as well. He's playing over inside a kitchen at the moment. So there's a lot of offside presence here, but a drop is going to be required. Mellow drops to his death. That really throws quite a significant advantage there. Obviously, that nade kill coming in to kick things off for Ascend. It would have been handy to have multiple bodies to commit with, but just sending people in one at a time, it really isn't going to cut the mustard, especially when you've got somebody like Nello playing a little bit deeper inside of bar storage. Solotov now holding on to the top of library stairs, but gets himself sat down as Ease swings in there with the LMG. Revan now looking to try and tidy things up elsewhere. Neo, the flank was not on, I'm afraid. Users, he's pushed up, he's managed to make his way in through garage. Can now look to try and retake onto the side, but even he will fall, and it all comes down to Nello. 1 versus 2, his location known. 9 seconds left on the clock. The diffuser cold on the ground. Ease finds the last kill. The Finker stim coming in at a clutch time there.
Yeah, great work there from Ascend. They got the opening pick. Was a little bit confused with Melu there. Ollie just drops and nothing really happened. Just blatantly kind of gave them a free kill in all sense of the word. I think that fight against Solotov and Blue Stairs was so vital. That Blue Stairs, as we know, Ollie, is crucial for the attackers to stabilize, I would say, themselves more than anything. Whenever defenders are on the back foot, they're going to start trying to rotate up staircases. If you have control of Blue, it stops them from doing that altogether. So, yeah, overall, a good round from Ascend. MnM just getting caught. I mean, the library take, as much as it did to waste time, didn't really get any kills from, which I think was probably the main thing they were after.
One of the strange things about that defense from MnM is that they prepped the floor, they prepped the sort of foot level wall with the Aruni, punched through into Master and Office, and it didn't get used. And I was looking at that and I was thinking, that's a really great opportunity maybe for someone like Usus, get himself up on the flank, someone like Neo, get himself into a position where he's going to be able to do something. But it was just so underutilized. Nobody rotated up solo stairs.
Yeah.
And Neo ends up dying inside a kitchen. You've maybe got to ask there, is it worth hitting that rotation and getting yourself in?
See, the thing about Usus, obviously, you know, I know Ian has hyped him up quite a lot.
Yeah.
Usus isn't necessarily your main entry, because he doesn't play main entry in this side. It's going to be, you know, looking at Tyra whenever we switch over to the attacks. He's the one who's going to be in, doing the hard grafting, finding that opening pick. Yep. Usus picks his time. He waits for the vital moment and he strikes. You know, that kind of lurker role that I think is kind of became a bit of a resurgence now. Obviously, you look at Citizen, who's kind of he developed that role and what it is today, and I think Usus definitely he's kind of on that same path that we're now seeing. So, you know, I think Usus, whenever the team are at, you know, a bit of a disadvantage, you'll start to see him make those plays again. But in terms of entries, I'm sure Tyrant, you're probably looking to him. You know, what a gem we've kind of seen him grow into throughout the UK, and this is his first CL season, and he's finally getting an opportunity.
It's crazy to think that it used to be the Kayak Tyrant duo as well.
Always used to be them
Those
too, yeah.
Inseparable. Joined at the hip almost. Be nice for him to be able to rejoin his friend down inside of EU.
So basement, Ollie, we go straight down to next. This is usually the bomb site that nobody goes near. This is the bomb site that we see least played, mostly because the reinforced walls are very easy to open up. You have drone holes beside them. You can open the wall, don't have to worry about carried charges or bandit trick and anything like that. It's going to be dealt with very swiftly. So right now, they have the breach open. They can just do whatever they want now, because you have your vocal point. You have what you're going to be using. That main breach is open. You can push in through that whenever you feel like it. So the pressure's on MnM. All they have to do really is just play pretty passive, you know, for all accounts. You can see now they're starting to pull some players back to site just in case a rush comes in. But there's the first pick again. Another opening kill with a nade.
Great job there. Solotov feels like something might be on here. Goes for the pre-fire, but isn't anticipating the player to be crouched. The plant's going down as well. Users caught out in the air jab. Oh, it's all going wrong here for MnM. Tyrant in the 1 versus 4. Lot of information available here. He's not even going to need it. He got the heads up. He saw the drone, got shot immediately. And he's immediately ready for the swing and the challenge. Quick fire round. That's why we don't see the basement brought all too often, because when things start to go wrong, it all goes pear-shaped.
Just the crutches kicked underneath you, already in a bit of a bad position. Whenever stuff like that happens, where a nade comes in, you've lost that first man, and straight from the rip, Ascend knew, if we get this first pick, we have full control. Because you need a lot of men to hold that basement. So yeah, all credit to Ascend, really playing, I think, just very basic, very default. And I think that's what we were expecting from both these teams. Both these teams are traditionalists in terms of how they play Siege. It's not, you know, crazy off the wall like what we've seen from Makers or some of their setups and strategies that we're not used to. Both of the sides, they just play some good classic Siege.
You're a fan of that as well, aren't you?
That's me down to a T.
You're an old-fashioned guy when it comes to how you like your Siege played. Let's see how MnM try and get away with this round. Going to be mixing it up again. Makes sense to keep moving. I think the basement was maybe in an attempt to throw Ascend off the pace a little bit here and just give them something to worry about, but they adapted beautifully. They looked like they knew what they were going into every single day of the week. Now we find ourselves in Kitchen. Still not seeing Master Office brought out, but there is time for that. I would imagine with how quickly MnM were dealt with inside a basement, there's a chance they maybe go there next, pending how this round goes. But MnM needs to start finding an answer somewhere. Attacks is something we brought up inside of the pre-show. It's something we've had quite a big focus on in the desks and what we've been doing throughout Challenger League, regardless of this game in its isolation. Attacks are where there are opportunities here. Chalet. Great map for the attack. We've already mentioned, opening pick, it's as easy as you like. If you've got info and a nade, you've got no excuses. You should be getting that over, especially with the Wamai ban. You really should be making something happen. And so far, Ascend, they're doing that. They're making it work.
Yeah, and I think especially in Chalet where there's some very strong positions for shields, you need to hit your nades. You know, I suppose it is kind of a case of, does it come down to the nade game? You know, if Ascend are hitting their nades, eliminating these shields, eliminating the players behind the shields, they'll have no issues. But then maybe what happens if the nades start missing? What happens if they get swung as they're cooking nades? You know, a multitude of things can happen. And then we could see MnM just sit back and have the easiest defense round ever. So again, yeah, I think the nades are going to be very important. You can see a triple ADS stack on the piano. So it's good to see MnM realize that nades have been an issue for us. Let's make sure the first guy doesn't die to them.
He's going to be able to ping out the shield. Mute Jammer behind the shield. ADS as well. Not going to be easy to root Tyrant out here. He's going to be anticipating quite a direct challenge, but it looks as though Ascend are switching things up. They were looking like they were going to start taking that top floor and then work vertically, but they've just gone straight for the side demo.
Yeah, it looks as if they've kind of been puzzled, thinking, you know, do we really want to commit? I think more than anything, the only issue that they're going to run into is the Echo drones. You know, if you want to try and go for the defuse and go for the plant, Echo's going to be a great pickup for MnM for this dining, especially if they are expecting to see, you know, Ascend kind of being deterred by the upstairs guys right now. And one thing as well, Solotov, he can play the holes above. You know, he has vertical gain right now against Ascend, so I don't know if this is the best decision from them. You can still kind of see Easy's out, kind of lingering the piano and almost gets swung by Tyre and not afraid to take the challenge, but he does step himself back up, just 20 HP there. Raven, that's a nice drone in sight, can spot out Nello. Here comes the nade, and as we know, all of those ADSs are upstairs and it will work for them. Another opening kill with a nade.
Very successful in that pick. The drones working in conjunction with the information that you can provide. Z-ping, everything working beautifully. This opening kill has come a lot later on into the round. With 35 seconds left now, it isn't a massive thing, but it's still your smoke, and they are still out of action. Now it's going to become quite an intense fight because that vertical control hasn't been taken. Players like Neo can start to work on in. Revan, he's going to pick the diffuser up and start to try and plant it in the default spot. No. He's with the cover. He's going to be able to find one on Solotov. Neo, how do you get away with that? Takes Mello down, uses with the swing. Neo backs everything up with the C4. 10 seconds left and the diffuser still cold. Enemy, he's looking to fight his way through, but he's going to be met by one person and one person only, and that is Users. Ease from above is not going to have any impact here as the clock hits 0.
Wow. MnM just about Neo. I don't know how he's gotten that kill. He was picking up a C4 and he gets swung, yet he still kills the man. Incredible. Bit of a miscue, him missing the C4 there, Ollie, but still managed to make up for it. Again, the information from the Echo drones, that was great. We've seen the vertical action come in from above. Yeah. You know, Ascend, that was the main issue. They didn't contest above. They didn't want to go up against the guys upstairs. Sure, they eventually did take above. It was Ease by himself. Too late. Just way, way too late to start trying to deal with the rumors above. And yeah, it just came crashing down. So MnM, all credit to them. They set up correctly. Maybe, I think that's probably where we question Ascend. And, you know, a simple thing like an upstairs hold, is that what's going to stop you, really? Is that it? Is that what dominates you?
It was a strange choice, wasn't it? Because it was before the halfway point in the round that the decision was made.
Yeah.
The decision was made at around 1 minute 40 or so to just directly focus the site. And at that point, you've still got time. I think Ease was given a lot to do. Obviously, I think
he's one guy, yeah.
The idea was they were going to split and they were going to go, right, we'll focus the site, try and draw a couple of people back. MnM held the nerve. MnM stayed on that top floor because they knew they had the power position.
They had 2-on-1. If Ease is trying to play in that piano window, Solotov's not worried. He knows he has Tyrant beside him. He knows nobody's getting through him with that shield still up, with the triple ADS is stacked. I mean, again, another opening kill with a nade. This time we kind of mentioned, they've done a lot better by stacking ADSs, making sure their first player cannot get naded. It's left poor old Nello there dry on site, hasn't he? He's been hung out to dry.
You could see it happening though, couldn't you? It was images before unfortunate events. Straight away you could see, this isn't ideal, is it?
We got it.
Great little bit of opening utility usage there. We've seen quite a bit of Twitch sprinkled on through. Revan, fan of the old F2. Going to be able to take away the bulletproof.
No, it stayed up.
Did it stay?
Yeah, he shot it just in time.
Just in the nick of time. We did also see the holes getting prepped again by users. Very quick to be dropping.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Is that
you just spot him and he's gone straight off the rip.
Oh god, you got to be scared of Tyrant here. If Tyrant dies to a nade again, there's a big problem.
Yep.
There is a really big, because that'd be 4 for 4 if that does happen. Now eventually the bulletproof will be removed. Tyrant should be able to get rid of what about that for timing? What about that for timing?
Spidey sense tingling there, only just to move away, and yeah, Tyrant very fortunate. I mean, one thing about this attack from Ascend is that they're not necessarily putting a lot of pressure onto the guys towards, Office and Piano stuff like that. I say that though, Ease again has just found another pick, just off those windows, just sitting prone on top of the rooftop, finds an angle, and will eliminate Neo. This blue stare still an issue. Solotov, we've seen him play here last time, has once again lost control. And for as well as Tyrant's done not to get naded this time, it seems to be a lot more even quicker this time, hasn't it, from Ascend? They've got top floor with still half the round to go.
Solotov could be on for the flank this time, though, and it looks as though Users has changed up his tactic. Previous round he was using the DMR. This time he's got the Roni. So he's already approaching the round in a different playstyle. Currently hanging out inside a bathroom. This was a bit of a criticism that we made previously, where we're like, why aren't they making full use of the flank that could be on here? And if Users times this correctly, he could be rewarded greatly. There's a lot of drone work going on at the moment from Ascend. I think they're still fact-finding. They still need to know exactly where MnM are. There's 4 people that they have to try and find here, and Users is looking to move on through. Now, I don't think that there's going to be a flank drone over toward this side.
I think might have been.
Doesn't look as though anyone's actually aware at the moment. The bad thing about on the Ascend side, everyone's a live demo. No one's going to be sat on a drone watching that flank.
Yeah, and it looks as if they know exactly where the players of MnM are going to be stationed, and they find Solotov. I mean, to be fair, if you push them all away from site and you've done that drone work, you know they can only be in the basement, and it's just a simple case of covering the staircases. Revan now will try and hold on to bottom blue as Melu enters in towards Mud. This is not looking good. A lot of pressure now comes on to Users. He tried to go for the flank, but he's using the deployable shield that MnM set up. It's actually going to work against him. Nello has found one on site. With 20 seconds to go, Ascend, they need to get a move on. They need to try and get into this bomb site.
Nello could still have something to say here. He's got the SMU, but he's going to get out-peaked there, as we are going to see the drop come on into sight. Users with the pistol drawn, looking pretty desperate, as Tyrant is left as the only surviving player. 1 versus 3, goes for the wiggle peak, but Ease to shut him down.
Yeah, easy for Ascend. No issues in that round again. They did very well at getting control of the library early on. Gave them plenty of time. Drone work was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was
Ascend.
really good.
It's
been good throughout.
Didn't let anything, kind of miss them out. They were ready for Users. They were ready for Solotov. Ascend are geared up. They're the right place at the right time at the right moments to catch these players by surprise. I mean, MnM, I don't know, I feel as if they could fight that library a lot longer. It just seems as if they're giving up really early.
It's very soft, isn't it? There's got to be something that MnM can do, because...
I mean, Mira's open. Mira helps a lot for library goals.
Mira be a good shout. Or try and hold it a little bit deeper. Invest a bit more into that top floor hold instead of attempting the flanks, because if there's one thing that Ascend are ready for, it is any flanking player. Every single flank that was attempted there inside of that round was cut off entirely. It wasn't even allowed to get started.
So, not a good position for MnM to be in. 3-1 down. They do get to go to bedroom now. And this is a bomb site that we haven't seen from them, and it's strange to see it come out, considering that they haven't played it yet. You know, usually I would have thought, okay, maybe they might try and maybe attempt the base pick, and I don't know, maybe that was a one-off thing. But, I mean, Bedroom, this is the expected bomb site. To see a little bit late from MnM is surprising. So, gearing up. Pretty default, nothing too surprising. You see opening up a lot of vertical angles, and probably that's going to try and stop them from rushing in, try and play for the plant, and then you can try and play denial from below. So a couple of options there for MnM. Don't see many players downstairs in kitchen demo. I think just the one in the former users. He's going to try and solo hold that below. Don't know if Ascend are a team that will actually opt to go for the kitchen take. I mean, they've been pretty direct, Ollie, haven't they? They've just kind of just went for what they've needed, and that's it. They haven't had to do any extra steps. So I doubt they'll change things up. I think they'll just go, let's get the breach open and work from it.
I mean, if you look on the flip side, they didn't take Master and Office to take kitchen. They went directly for kitchen.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out for them. That was the one round that hasn't worked for them yet. Now, this site plays very similarly. You can still play inside a kitchen if you want to try and work a C4 down there or play somebody that's got some vertical angles. It's going to be users there at the moment. Doesn't have a C4, but does have an impact. So could have something to say if a plant goes down and he's able to stay there for long enough. But again, it's the drone work from Ascend. So effective. Revan on this Twitch is a nightmare.
Look at that.
He's going to find the Kaid, surely. Oh, he does actually get taken out there, but that's the second time he's been able to get a bulletproof camera. So MnM's information is just dwindling, and he did actually get the Electric Claw as well.
Yeah, getting the Kaid Claw is just phenomenal. So the breach is going to be opened up now for Ascend, and I think expected to see them just go direct on the site, not really interested in anyone really from MnM. It looks as if, I think we've got some roamers now for MnM. They're looking to start lurking towards those staircases. One down towards the garage, I think another one towards blue. Ascend now will begin their exploration of the top floor. Again, this information from the drone work will start using utility, burning away ADSs. You have obviously the Aruni gates on the doorways also. So still a minute to go. We're looking at Ease again to make these opening kills. We're looking at Melu. We've seen what he has done with the nades, and I wonder if another one will come flying towards the heads of MnM.
He's still got to be worried. There's no nades left now. Both those nades were thrown at exactly the same point in time. There were two left, but we haven't seen a nade kill this round, which is a little bit unusual. But what isn't unusual is Ease to be in and amongst these kills. Kills starting to trade, however, as Tyrant is able to fight back. Now, the plant was going down for a time, but we have seen J-Ash actually come off that. Neo trying to hold from deep. He's got a nice angle in from behind the bed. Tyrant could look to try and make a rotation as well, as a plant will be attempted yet again. Nello does have a Toxic Babe canister left, but isn't in position to be able to use it. Revan looking to provide some cover and fire as the plant is confirmed, and it is now a retake. Albeit, it's only 4 versus 3. I mean, that 3 versus 2, sorry, as kills do continue to trade, but the hit points available on MnM isn't great at all. Nello is able to trade back 1 for 1, but inevitably taken on out by Revan. What a round he has had. Such great utility out of the Twitch and brilliant cover there inside of the post.
We'll have to highlight Ease again. Being able to find the opening kill on the same windows. He loves those windows. He loves that balcony. He's been doing a great job finding the opening picks, opening things up for his side. But once again, Ascend, just simple as it takes. If you were to describe to me, Ollie, you know, a very simple bedroom attack, I think that would be it.
Would that be it?
I think it would.
Just as easy as you like.
It is that easy.
It is. And the thing is, Ascend are making it look fairly straightforward. They aren't looking stressed in these engagements. They're not looking like they're really fumbling for answers.
And another thing with Ascend is whenever they find the opening pick, have you noticed as soon as they know it's, you know, they have an extra man, he's straight to flank watch.
Yeah.
Straight away. The flanks are not doing it for MnM today. Ascend are ready for it. I think that must be, what, the 4th round where we've seen MnM attempt some sort of flank up staircase. Ascend have just sat there and held an angle and waited for them. Every time.
It's very clear what the intention of Ascend is in this game. It's incredibly crystal clear. They are looking for one thing and one thing only. Opening kill. And as soon as they've got that, they're not letting MnM have an inch, because it's a dangerous team if you give them any space.
It is. I mean, MnM, the only round that they won was the round where they played so passive. You know, very passive. They were bringing the Yakko. They were just sitting upstairs, playing their angles. That was the round that they won. Why have we not seen that again? Why are we not seeing that same MnM? They're going to go back upstairs to bedroom rather than going for their kitchen and dining, which was open. they're going up here?
I think it's bold. I really do. It was almost, dare I say it, a semi-old-fashioned take by Ascend. They didn't actually go for the solar repel and the solar windows, which has become much more popular in terms of taking this top floor. They went for the bread and butter through the new balcony, in through that side, and it worked really well for them. It looks as though here they're actually going to try and switch things up and really just flex that they can really do it all here. I tell you, if someone gets on that double window repel, it is night-night, it is game over.
Yeah, it's difficult to really battle back against whenever you do have ways of just stopping anyone running a trench. Just have somebody literally sit and just cover it for you if needed, then yeah, double window can be the worst nightmare for the defense. Nades again being utilized, this time though for Neo. It's in a much safer position. He has a lot of room to maneuver around. He can run up and down the stairs, dodge the nade wherever he needs to, and he's done extremely well, Ollie. That's 2 nades he's eaten up, and he's only taken just a bit of damage, not even that much. We see the opening kill actually fall for MnM this time around. Ease goes down for the first time. So all credit to MnM. They have adapted much better that round.
I mean, that's the first opening kill that MnM have got. It's also the first time that Ease has died, so it's a double whammy there. Really looking pretty unstoppable so far on Chalet. That could really do wonders for MnM here, and still, there's potential for them to come away with a 2-4 split, which, through the lens of Chalet as a map, wouldn't be horrendous, Demo. There's a lot of opportunities here for the attack. But this just looks to have slowed Ascent down quite significantly. They'd gone for a new approach. They went for the solar take. MnM were really ready for that. Now you can see the drone starting to work through as information is required here. Revan's got his drone underneath. He knows that somebody's going to be playing under there.
I don't really know what the plan is now for Ascend. I'm looking at where they're positioned. You've got some guys outside of the piano balcony. That's not really going to do much, not as if you can formulate an attack from there. You've got some players now going below. It looks as if Ascend has hit a bit of a wall, Ollie. I say that though, users will lose that engagement against the Twitch below, and now all of a sudden the man advantage goes back in favor of Ascend. However, look at Enemy, look at Revan, look at their HP. That is something to worry about. A single bullet will be able to finish them off. But yeah, still, I don't really know what Ascend are going for.
It's a very unclear ball at this moment in time. There's still a Cade Claw that's getting pinged out on the wall, so it's going to be very difficult to try and remove now at this point. I say that, J-Ash might have actually seen his opportunity. Could start to try and breach through, but with 20 seconds, it is not a lot of time. Mello needs to provide some good cover, either from bathroom or through into piano, but Solotov, he's going to be able to shut down Enemy as he was only 1 bullet away. Nello backs him up with a kill onto Revan. J-Ash could be faced with a very desperate push on in here as he is the last remaining hope for Ascend in this round. And again, a round to tick away on time. The only way that MnM have won any rounds on their defense, Demo, is by the clock.
I mean, was it really by the clock? Do we consider that them run out of time? I think, you know, you could have gave the firm out there an extra minute, and I don't think it would have really made that much of a difference.
But it shows the passive play style is working for MnM.
Yeah.
They need to play passive. They need to survive past that opening minute, because as soon as that doesn't happen, Ascend, they're all over them like a rash.
Yeah. Like I said, Ascend have played the extra man extremely well, but we've seen whenever they didn't have the extra man, they were kind of
unsure,
humming and hawing, what are we going to go for? You know, they start off as solar take, and I was like thinking, okay, we're getting a little bit different here from Ascend, maybe trying to catch MnM by surprise, not going by the same old kind of strategy book where it's nice and basic. But they lose that opening pick, they lose Ease, and maybe they thought, okay, maybe we should just go back to the other side. But at that stage, you're starting to rotate a different attack with a minute to go. It's never going to work well for them, and I think that's showcased. I mean, a 4-2 half is expected, though. That is the kind of general gist that we get from a lot of matches, is attackers will always go 4-2 up. That's always the case. So, yeah, I think now this is where MnM, they're on the attack. I'm sure they're feeling pretty confident that at least they finished off with that last round. And now they can maybe start trying to build a bit of a snowball. But Ascend now, they get the defense, and this is where we can maybe see their roamers have an even bigger impact than what MnM are trying to achieve.
Well, that's the question now, isn't it? It really does start to become, how are MnM going to choose to approach these attacking rounds? Because they can afford to make few mistakes here. They need to come out very clean, reset that mental after the defensive phase. As I said, a 2-4 split on defense on Chalet, it really isn't the end of the world. The amount of nade spots that are available, the amount of opportunities you've got from rappel and from windows to affect onto the site, the fact that a lot of the sites are instantly accessible from the outside is another thing that really does weigh in to attack a favor here. But still, they're going to have to be sharp and they're going to have to be clean, because Ascend have looked nothing less at this moment. You look at Ease, 8-1. Mello, he's really getting himself up there now, 6 and 5. Revan, 7 and 4. The utility that he's been able to provide has been absolutely massive.
Look at this from Solotov, an early entrance in from the basement, and he's looking to creep up towards blue. Ascend know he's there, though. They're ready for him, have plenty of angles covered. So, MnM actually going to go from bottom up, which is a bit of a strange one. Usually it's top-bottom that we see teams try and take control of this bomb site, but they're doing things the other way around. They've lost Tyrant again, another opening death for Tyrant, and Ascend, they will begin things off with the first pick. I believe that's Ease over on the other side of the map. You see Neo's rotate around to try and hold him right now, but Ease isn't biting. He knows that he got that first pick. He can just sit back, relax, and see where his team needs them. But right now, Ascend, uncontested, nobody looking at entry in towards the library side of things. And it looks like MnM, they've tried to pull something quick, but they've just kind of stopped since then.
Losing Tyrant's really slowed them down. They've lost a lot of information with that. They've lost a couple of grenades, so of course that is going to affect things. But realistically, it shouldn't be this slow. Coming in from the basement, whilst it's not the most orthodox take, it isn't always something that you stack a couple of players doing. Sometimes you'll just send one person to go and take command of the stairs and really leave it at that. Ultimately, you need control of library. That's where this round is entirely decided. It is on how quickly you're able to take library, how easily you're able to shift that utility out, and if you're able to get a kill along the way. Neo gets away with it there as enemy was ready and waiting to shut him down. He's still going to try and nade out into back storage, but nobody's going to be there. Nello, excuse me, where is this plank going down? Enemy, he gets himself taken on out. Nello's just hopped himself on in, jumped down the hatch, and now he's looking to fight directly on that plant spot. Kills flying in left and right here for MnM, but still vertical control to worry about. Mello, he's retaken, he's inside the library, and he's got eyes on the diffuser. He knows exactly where it has been planted. Nello on the rappel. Is he going to get baited out of this? Usus needs to be in reach. Needs to come in with a bit of assistance. What a great kill there by Nello to back it up. Usus picks up Ease. Great round there from MnM. How opportunistic was that demo?
Brilliant round. Brilliant stuff from MnM. A very minimalistic take by all means, going in from below. And the whole key of why they went in downstairs, Ollie, was to gain control of the bottom main stairs right off the rip, so they could rotate the Habana to open up the connector wall. If you have that connector wall open, nobody can play connector. You know, we talk about the double window jump in. It is something that teams can abuse, but it is difficult to do whenever you have upstairs control of the hatch open, and more importantly, somebody in connector. If you eliminate the factor of somebody in connector, that double window is as free as anything.
Yep.
And I think they showcased that extremely well. I was worried that they were going to get caught out from above.
Yeah.
But I think that was more of a misplay for Ascend. They didn't put the resources above. It was one guy holding upstairs. It was just the Twitch users. That was it. Everywhere else was a little bit chaotic, I would say, from MnM. But wow, they pulled off a great round. Very impressed with that one.
Really good job from MnM. Nello showing his...
Great stuff from Nello, yeah.
Showing his ability to just get himself in and do the dirty work, get the plant down when required.
And I mean, I think a lot of people were obviously going to be a little bit skeptical of Nello, you know, coming into this team where he hasn't been playing competitive, you know, for the past year. And we know, you know, we talked to people, if you get out of that game, you're out of the scrims, you know, for a season, you miss a lot of things, you know, the bus leaves without you. But somehow he's been able to rope himself onto the tow bar and just sail on down with it.
It's called sketching, where you've got hold of the tailgate and you're on the skateboard.
He's got the skateboard.
He's sketching along, and then the bus stops and you just go flying.
Water skiing with a bus.
You're off.
Get the skis on. So, MnM, first attack goes their way, but now they will have to attack once again. So they're not going to go for the kind of same idea, Ollie. They're going to change things up and go for it. Looks to be a much more traditional take, trying to take in towards, obviously, your bedroom side, in towards bathroom, and then finally push your way across in towards piano, which will be your main kind of staging ground for the roamers that we expect to see towards that library. Use this in this same angle. He's really favored. Enemy takes a lot of damage, and will he get eliminated? Yes, he will. MnM playing the same game that Ascend were at, where they're trying to utilize these kind of windows we just sit outside, hold an angle, and hope somebody runs into it.
It's the mark of a good attacking team, being able to force these defenders to make rotations, whether that by droning them, bits of utility, nades, flashes, whatever it might be, and then to have somebody in the hot seat, the right place at the right time to be able to press mouse one and to guarantee that kill. That's exactly what we've seen there. Opening kills for the attackers on Chalet are there for the taking. Both sides have shown us that. MnM have the advantage, and they've got it early. They're going to go for a full clear, as you say, Demo. They've got quite a bit to wade through. There's a little bit of a difference in the way that Ascend have set this one up. They've actually reinforced their into office, which is something that MnM did choose to leave soft, but there is the option for that rotation round.
Yeah, also don't have a shield to assist Melu kind of playing towards top fireplace. That's an area that's kind of been left open from them. Look at MnM, they had 2 shields to allow them to do that position. Obviously still the default one top blue that every team, you kind of have to run at this stage. But yeah, without this fireplace, it kind of means that the guy outside off his balcony on that double window, it gives him a bigger opportunity just to make a play. So that's one thing that Ascend have to be worried about. They will nade out the shield, and that does clear away the protection that Revan once had. And like I said, Melu, he is in a bit of a pickle, only has a reinforced wall, but all it takes is one guy to rotate towards the library window, and he's cooked.
Bit of a heavy stack up here onto new balcony as well. Users going for that rotation. You give the game away briefly, popping the barricade, force Melo to either drop or reposition. C4 lying in wait as well, just waiting for the pings to come through, but oh no, he's fluffed the throw, Demo. It's not gone far enough. Is he going to be able to recover that one or not? Maybe hear him desperately trying to shoot and recollect that C4, but it's likely out of action. It does actually work. Solitaire falls for it right into the trap. Tyrant in position to trade back. Still advantage MnM here. Users can now take up position on the window as kills do continue to trade. That's a 1-for-1 between Neo and Ease. Revan, easiest kill as you like on the hatch drop. They're just giving him away at this point, Demo. 2-2, 4 seconds left. The diffuser has been recovered. Great play from Tyrant to swing on through. He had the diffuser, but he didn't have the time.
Gumine! A Gumine single-handedly want to send that round. Wow, we seen Iana jump in. Did very well to get that kill, but the Gumine was just sticking in the foot, and unfortunately, it was the Iana who picked up the diffuser, not the Twitch, therefore they couldn't plant. Wow, Ascend just about winning that round. Obviously a very unique way to win the round, but a win's a win.
It'd be nice to go back and see if that Gumine was thrown intentionally as soon as the diffuser was known to be down. Because the diffuser was down in sight for a couple of seconds prior to that. So if the Gumine has just been sent in, and that's a heads-up play from Revan, GG. I mean, even if it's not, it's still good. You know, it's still as intended.
Yeah, a bit of a stickler there for MnM. Probably would have thought that they themselves would think, we should have won that round.
Fine margin. Not a lot of time left on the clock. It was a very, very close round. I think MnM needed to just try and squeeze a little bit more out of the mid to early part of that round and just speed themselves along ever so slightly. There was, of course, a trade thrown in there as well. So that's always a bit of an unfortunate one for both sides.
Look at Ease right now. 11 kills and 3 deaths for himself, Ollie, inside of 8 rounds. So definitely the top performer so far. Did a lot of work in the attacks. See if he can continue that on the defense. So we head now to the kitchen and dining. This was a site that stomped Ascend. This was the one that they just could not break through. I wonder if MnM will fall victim to that same ideology of let's just play basic, let's not worry about the guys above. Knowing MnM, they'll probably try and go for the kills. I think they'll try and take above and utilize the soft destruction that they're bringing with the sledge. You know, we've seen at least either sledge or buck be brought for MnM every single round. So if you have that destructibility, you may as well utilize it, especially on this bomb site where you can open up the entirety of dining, you know, very easily. Some parts of kitchen, you know, the kitchen hatch, as we know, is a very valuable tool also in the mix of that Ollie. So there is more than enough reasons to why you should be going above.
Only one player currently positive on MnM, and it's Nello. Not always the player that you would think.
Nobody would have thought that.
To be going positive. You know, Nello, hard support, plays the SAS operators on defense, picks up the hard breach roll on the attack. Certainly a lack of kills here for MnM. We've not seen them be as effective with the grenades either. We've seen a couple of rounds now for them guys on the attack, and they just haven't had that bite. They've not had that clinical information that they're then able to nade off the back of. We are seeing a bit of drone work go out now. Minute gone, just flanks being set up here. I mean, Solar's fairly free for the taking at this point. You've got to worry about Melo. He's obviously in position, just playing it a little bit deeper, but where's the nade?
Yeah, Nello's going to go for the swing. Is anyone going to try and respond to that? Nope, doesn't seem to be the case. The man double window will stop all of that from happening right now. Yeah, I think they know where he is, and this is where you're looking for Nello to maybe go for a swing. A nade will roll in, and he's still alive inside of the closet. C4 gets tossed out. Nello takes a lot of damage from, almost walks back into the C4, but he's still alive and kicking. I think Mello's doing a great job here, Ollie, of just wasting utility and time.
He really is. He's tanking C4s as well. Neo, they're going to feel a little bit of the splash damage off one as he's tempted to try and nade out, but I don't think he's got the relevant information. There's still 5 drones left here for MnM. They should have the info. Surely that's going to be it now, as Mello is allowed to make a rotation out into bedroom. Let's try and challenge and play a little bit closer to the solar door. What a shot onto Neo. Shuts him down. He's held on beautifully up there, Demo. He's been there for over a minute. We see Nello. He's pushed in. He's at the bottom of trophy stairs. Nobody's dealing with Mello. Why? Finally, Usus walks on through and takes him out. There's 40 seconds left. We've been watching that go on for nearly 2 minutes.
A calamity from all understanding of MnM. I have no idea how they just did not eliminate him sooner. They knew exactly where he was. You have somebody in double window. You know he's going to be stuck, and now the time's going to go against them. The smoke starts being tossed out. Hatch isn't opened above. They're going to have to utilize the soft breach, but I don't really think that's going to be enough, Ollie, at this stage. It's all going to come crashing down for MnM, I fear. 15 seconds to go, and Usus and Solotov have to do something. Usus does have the diffuser, jumps in towards Kitchen and asks down to Solotov. He has to try and cover him as the diffuser will get planted. He's fine, Solotov, and it's only a matter of time before Usus also falls to him. Will get the diffuser down, but at what cost? We'll find one, but I'm sure the refrag should be here momentarily from them. He's still alive at the moment. Will dodge a C4, finds another Ollie. Can he pull this clutch? If he finds one more, it's for the quad. 30 seconds to go. Jayesh, where are you going to go? You have the shock, and we'll make another hole. Will he swing with the SMG? Usus, will he bottle it? Will he hold his nerve? Will he hold his cool? What will he do? He has the lineup. No, looks away at the wrong moment, and there's the swing coming in from the smoke. Jayesh has to make a move. This bomb diffuser is so difficult to try and peek around, and will he win it? Yes, he will! Usus will farm the kills inside a kitchen. Nobody can touch this man on his form.
Little sly grin there from Usus. This is about as much as you are going to get. Cool as a cucumber there inside of that clutch. Great game sense. Getting the plant down, crucial stuff. Solotov, unable to provide the support. There's an argument to say at that point in time, Demo, you've got to be focusing who's planting the diffuser. As a send, you've got to be putting your focus onto the planter. Never mind about the guy that's trying to hold, because that was the perfect distraction that gave Usus the time. And then, you know what the worst bit is? They go one at a time.
Yeah,
single file, all 3, one after another. You can't do that to Usus. You can't give him that.
Like, here's the situation. You know where he's going to be planting, because there's only one place you can plant. Behind the bomb chassis. Everyone knows that.
If you can't see him, you know where he is.
Everyone knows that. Let him plant. Don't. Let him plant. You have 45 seconds to win a 1v3 against the guy that you know cannot move.
But he has got an F2, and his name is Usus.
But like you said, they swung him one by one, and that was it. You gave Usus your ones. You don't do that.
The crazy thing to see as well is the wall getting shotgunned open there at the end. That would have been brilliant if there would have been more than one person there to take advantage of it.
They made about 4 different angles that they could have killed Usus in, and not a single one of them peaked it. And like, he's making those holes, and yet he decides, oh, I'm going to walk through the doorway anyway. So it's already there. It's the basic.
It's the bait and switch. It's the bait and switch.
You don't want to give him that bomb chassis angle, which they gave him.
You got to be on the pitch to score the goals, and Usus did just exactly that. He was able to shut down 3 players, 4 kills on the round, and a plant. Now that's going to do something for the mental. He might not show it on his face. Pretty understated guy, but that is really going to do something to fire you up here.
That does wonders for them, yeah.
You're 1 round behind now. That's all it is. Only 1 round. Things haven't been looking fantastic up until this point for MnM. We've been very critical. We were very critical inside of that round of how long it took them to actually clear those players out, and their reluctance to use the nades.
From every understanding, that is a choke round from Ascent. All day of the week, you know, they did so well. We highlighted how well Mello did. Wasted nades, time, got kills, did everything he could. You couldn't ask more from the guy. Yet the team still throws that one V3 away. I mean, they did so well to actually eliminate Solotov also. I thought Solotov was going to come in pretty big there, because all they had to do was hold one simple angle. Couldn't even do that.
Mr. Opening Kill is opening death this round as Neo shuts him down. Ease. It's the 2nd round in a row he's found himself on the receiving end of that opening engagement. Someone that was deadly when Ascend were on the attack at getting that opening kill. Going to be sent to the cameras pretty early here. An advantage is what MnM now have to try and work with. Mello, big problem in the last round for MnM. They just struggled so much to try and deal with him. He's playing a lot deeper this time. I think he's recognised, look, I maybe don't get away with that again.
Yeah.
I'm going to play a little bit deeper, play in more toward piano, and look for a little bit more support from the team.
Twitch drones and bulletproofs. That has been a good story there, Ollie. MnM this time, though, will use a Twitch drone to eliminate a bulletproof. I mean, Twitch, I think, has had a great showcase today, just what the operator brings to the table and the utility that you could just slip in and eliminate so easily. And I suppose with the lack of mute on Ascend, which is a bit of a surprise, you know, Mute, I think, is inside the top 5 picked defender operators, currently inside of CL. To not see him being brought to the table is a bit of a surprise, but then again, they're on the Mosley. Maybe that's their substitute for him.
And the Mozzie is a good substitute. Similar role. But I'm a big fan of the Mute. I think the Mute really does provide.
Look at this.
Usus. He's looking dangerous again. He just happens to find himself in these positions, doesn't he? Doesn't get away with it this time. Jayash sits him down in the dirt. Jayash with the angle has a chance at another here. Nello narrowly getting away with things there. Enemy going to back one up. Revan as well. Things falling apart here. Nello eventually is able to take one and the second. The Bear in 9 putting in the work. Attempting the plant, but knows that there's still vertical pressure. Hasn't got full control of the site, but somehow this is a 2 versus 2 demo. This was looking very good for Ascend, and all of a sudden the plant is being confirmed. Enemy, he gets rid of the Surrogate, gives the game away. The pre-fire comes out, but the C4 this time lands. No, you cannot tank that one. Neo has to try and get a line of sight on this diffuser, because if he doesn't, there's potential for it to be disabled. Mello, he's going to push down. Enemy already looking to try and bait out the disable onto the diffuser. Neo, he's caught between a rock and a hard place, doesn't know which way to look. There's so many pings on the screen, but eventually he's taken on out. Enemy doing the business there. 17 seconds, plenty of time to disable.
There's the Ascend that we expected to see the last round. That is how they retake the diffuser, Ollie. Didn't panic. Didn't panic. That was the difference. Look at Neo in that position. They didn't give him the 1v1s. They took the 1v2. They pushed together. They said to each other, I'll swing when you swing. And they did just that, and they were able to find their man.
You could tell they were tempted.
Yeah.
There was moments where, I mean, on Neo's screen, his mouse must have been doing 10 to the dozen.
Yeah,
it was this way, it was that way. He was looking pretty panicked at that moment. And all you can see is pings and outlines and people circling in. You're thinking, if they just challenge him one at a time, again, one-shot headshots, that's the thing. You know, you are going to lose those engagements occasionally. But in that instance, Ascend, they were able to get the job done. They took a breath. I think that was the biggest thing. They weren't going to let that happen to them 2 rounds on the bounce. That's going to put them on match point.
Ascend pulling away with the game right now. They have a bit of a 2-round bumper now, Ollie, don't they? They get 2 chances to close out this game here and now. Will they take the first map in Chalet and push us to Villa within regular time, or will overtime be on the cards? Keep in mind, Ollie, we were kind of in a similar position with the Makers and Totem game earlier, where it was Makers in the lead and Totem were able to claw back.
It's from what we've seen so far today, Monday.
It's been a good season already, hasn't it?
Anything is on the cards. Absolutely anything could happen here.
Look at this. Look at this strategy. This is a new one for me. So, Castle being brought. As we know, 4 Castle Barricades gives them more options to utilize different doorways and windows. So they decided to castle off double window, which, fair enough, you know, good window to castle off. And you've also castled off this single doorway. That's going to help them out.
Massive.
Massively.
Yeah.
Because you think about that double window, it cuts off, it makes the bomb site kind of 2 bomb sites. It's not just 1 bomb site, it's 2. It creates that kind of, you know, sea in the middle of death, where if you cross that sea, you're dead. So if you block that off and you kind of, you know, build a dam, nothing's going to get through it.
And you don't often see that. You don't often see a castle being used on that interior door as well. But as you say, it's going to give you so much security, that extra castle barricade being put to great use. Also, the clash. If there's one thing that we've learned about teams, if they want to get something over the line, if they want to guarantee themselves around as much as they feel as though they can, they're going to bring a shield of some sort.
Shields just change the dynamic, because as we know, there are only a few things that can eliminate a shield. bullets don't work, which, fun fact, Ollie, everyone has bullets in this game. Unfortunately, you cannot get through the shields. They are bulletproof. So that's going to be the main issue for MnM, is they need to find some utility to deal with that. They have Sophia, which will be a good pick. You have the stuns that you can try and bounce and correctly get timed well with somebody actually aggressing onto the Clash. It's going to be an easy kill. But, of course, you have the nades, which will probably be their go-to idea. But it hasn't been too many times where I've seen nades really cause Clash any issues. If she sees somebody with a nade in her hand, she walks 2 steps back and she's fine. So, you know, in hindsight, you really need to work together and refrag the Clash more than anything.
Users might have seen himself an opportunity here. J-Ash is going to be right there, pinged out on the drone. I think his teammate must have flicked onto the drone at the last second just to provide him with the Z ping. But that's a big pick. It's removed the C4, it's removed the shotgun, it's removed the mute. Obviously sends mute to the cameras, but especially with a Clash being in play, it is going to give you that little bit more of an advantage, because Clash, of course, doesn't always have a gun out. Very often found hiding behind the riot shield, looking to try and cause a nuisance. Users looking to try and get himself onto the window now and provide that cut through into sight. Melo being held on the Clash as well, as MnM are really taking the time with this one.
Did the breach... What happened to the breach? Did the breach not work? I don't know what happened to the breach, but somehow they cannot get in now. Clash is causing them issues on the bathroom door. Enemy has found 2 picks. And now, once again, MnM in a bad position. They have to try and battle back against the 4 remaining Ascend players, but it's not looking good for them. Nello does have the diffuser in hand, but Enemy can essentially stop Usus getting into the building right now. If he can just stay below and hold Usus, all he can do is sit in the rappel. That's all the Twitch can do in this scenario, and you would expect to see the Clash coming big, which is happening. Tyrant, though, has made a great play. Ollie, he's eliminated. He's inside a piano. Clash is now stuck all by herself, and Nello should be able to eliminate that operator. Instead, just tries to beeline it straight to the bomb site, and will try and get the diffuser down. Melu tried to go for the quick switch, but will be eliminated. Tyrant, what a round from him, Ollie.
Tyrant's opened this round wide open, looking to now pick up the final kill, and he will do just that. Honestly, at the point where Usus is being held below, you think this round's said and done. Tyrant out of nowhere, flies over the top rope, opens the entire round like a tin of tuna.
When the team needed him most, he stepped up massively, because there was nothing going on for MnM in that round. Not a thing. For 30 seconds, they were stuck. Yeah. It looks as if someone just paused them, and all he could do was just sit there and hold angles. But yeah, Tyrant jumping in, winning that engagement was massive. And I think the biggest thing with what's kind of been highlighted is, if you are bringing Clash, as soon as that Clash doesn't have a friend beside her,
useless.
She's useless. And that was showcased, you know, perfectly.
Nello did a really good job of picking the time to push. It's as important as moving in and getting the kills. Tyrant's the big like Hollywood film, the blockbuster. He's going in, he's doing the flashy job. Nello,
he's the rigging staff. He's the one who has to go and set all up.
Man's back in the trenches. Yeah. He's trudging himself through. He's walking toward the Clash. He's just getting zapped down. He's getting a few shots in onto the knees and stuff. Yep. But ultimately, that was really what disabled the Clash. The Clash was then no longer a factor inside of the round. Opening pick helped massively as well.
Yeah, and I mean, the thing with Nello, there's a lot of people who may be playing those support roles, and we've seen them get tunnel visioned into thinking you have to get a kill. No, you don't. You have to get the diffuser down, and he realized that, and that was the key thing. Nello knows that out of everything in this game, his job is to plant the bomb. Yeah. That is number one, his job.
Man looked like Usain Bolt.
That was it. He seen the opportunity. You know, okay, I'll try and kind of tango past the Clash, which he did, and okay, see ya. You know, so all credit to them. So, Ascend, another round that has just slipped through your fingers, and now the MnM boys, they are 1 round away from taking Chalet to overtime. So MnM again will start to open up below. This is quite similar to how they played out their first attack in round, Ollie, where we've seen them execute beautifully onto the connector and in towards the games side of the map. So maybe a similar take from them?
It's very much their standard take, isn't it? They like to get themselves in below. Already they've been able to single out Roma, but Enemy does just slip away. Able to rotate himself back upstairs. Quite an impressive feat there. You could see right at the start of the round, before the wall got opened, there was outlines on either side of the soft wall, and you're thinking, oh, a little bit of a pre-fire here. If the breaching charge was already placed, Enemy could have found himself caught short, but he's now safe. He's on library stairs, and he's able to effect onto the round. Melo going to be playing on the fireplace this time. Revan at the top. Everybody in fairly standard positions. That drone worries me a little bit because I'm just worried about what MnM are thinking off the back of it. Why is the drone there? Are they looking for a bit of a hop into sight? Because they're known for that.
Again, very slow, which I think is the main kind of goal for MnM right now, is just taking their time. They know what pressure they're under. One fatal slip-up, and that is it for Chalet. So they want to make sure that they can nail this. So Ascend still uncontested above. Similar story for Mello. He can just play in that fireplace. Again, doesn't have the shield, doesn't have protection, but with how MnM have attacked this round, he doesn't need it. He does not need it one bit. I think Ascend, though, they're kind of ready for that same playstyle from MnM if they were to jump into the double window. You can see kind of two of them now grouped up together. But I think MnM might be trying to bait them in to try and leave them more open towards the top floor. I think Tyrant, again, we're looking towards his position to make a big play and win that opening engagement against Mello.
You keep an eye on where Tyrant and Users have moved to, and they've moved into position. Users gets himself into Library. Tyrant's going to be operating from the opposite side as well. Solotov's now hopped himself into Mudroom. He's going to find himself a great kill onto Ease. Tyrant's doing the damage upstairs. Revan is able to shut him down, though. Nello goes down as well, and at the 35-second mark, that isn't what you want, especially when that's your planter. Luckily, the kills have come through other avenues, and it's all down to Revan. He's able to pick one onto Users. 29 seconds left on the clock. Neo has recovered the diffuser. Revan, how much information have you got in this situation? He looks to be looking in the right direction, but wasn't anticipating Tyrant with the swing. MnM, they hold on yet again here, Demo.
Yeah, they battled back extremely well, Ollie. And we go to overtime.
Here we go.
A lot of overtime today, but would we want it any other way? No, of course we wouldn't. This is it. This is a great game of Siege we are being treated to tonight, Ollie. Great game between two exceptional teams right now. And who will take it? MnM get the attack, Ollie. Does that play a factor? We've seen it earlier between Makers and Totem, the team which had the better half throughout the game. Whoever got it in overtime would win.
4-2 splits. It's been the order of the day so far on Chalet. You would wager based on that it gives MnM a bit of an edge here. They're even going for the Galaxy Brain 6 pick there, a Zofia into a Zofia. I mean, you probably panic at that point because MnM haven't really run anything else, right? They've run that standard lineup all throughout, and now you think, what have they changed? They brought 6 pick. What's going on?
Again, that's it with MnM. They just play very standard on their attacks. They like their operators that they've kind of locked into. That's it. That's what you'll see throughout the course of the game. It's just the same 5 operators, maybe one change here and there. Also, I think Solotov has been the most flexible, where he switched from Sophia onto Buck, and that's been a, So, yeah, most of the time, it's just MnM will play the same 5.
Ascend have opted to go for Kitchen. Now, this is kind of choice because this is the round that Users clutched.
It was, yeah.
So it was a clutch, so you can't rely on winning a 1 versus 3, and you also can't rely on losing a 3 versus 1. It shouldn't be something that happens. But it's kind of choice that they've decided to come down here, given the successes that we've seen them have elsewhere on the defense. MnM have often cut things fairly fine here. Let's see how they choose to approach. Solotov loves getting himself in below and is already going to be inside a big garage. We can see that he isn't going to be being challenged too significantly. But there's also a lot of angles that you can get inside of there. If you feel like someone might be playing on Trophy, you can get that angle from inside of big garage. So if he does choose to use some of his utility, he can open up. The hatch inside of sight still not reinforced, but still soft but closed. There's a little bit of a vulnerability there from Ascend. They've not got that option to rotate out.
I mean, they do have, obviously, the Rooney upstairs, so if they need it, just simply punch the hatch, of course, with what would you call the ability of her being able just to
technically it's the bionic arm.
But what would a passive ability?
Passive?
Would that work?
Yeah, I would say.
So the passive,
it's always on.
Yep, the passive for Rooney is that, of course, she can make massive punches in walls and also open up hatches like a shotgun would, so always is going to be something to keep in mind. That's a lot of damage, though, being done to Ease right off the rip. So he'll be stuck in HP for the remainder of the round. That's good information, though, from the Gemini checking to see if anyone's on piano, and nobody's there right now. So Tyrant, this could be an opportunity for him to really utilize that. Ascend are just going to leave upstairs, Ollie. They're not going to want to hang around.
It's very early to be dipping off that control. MnM need that heads up, though. They need to know that it's free, and it looks as though they've got the hint. User's going to immediately burn the Twitch drone to get himself into office. Solotov opens up with a kill there over onto enemy. Can he grab a second? He does a ton of damage into Revan and eventually gets him down, but not out. Solotov has caused a nightmare here. He's been allowed just to stroll his way to the bottom of Trophy, immediately impacting onto the site. Now, plenty of time to gather a little bit of information on the drone. There's still 6 available. Mello will be caught out there, Solotov. He's going to be aware of that now. The information will have been fed through. He's going to go for the flank of the sentry on 1 HP and the Dream. There are going to be vertical holes upstairs available, and of course he is playing on the Aruni, so he does have the ability to make more. Usus now holding a great location. He's got himself dug in behind Piano. He's going to get a great early warning system as well if anyone peeks him with the Aruni gate disabling. Easy's going to find one onto Neo, but Usus trades directly back. Tyrant picks one up as well, and Mello is left in the clutches. He needs to find 4 here if he is going to be successful, and it doesn't look like he's working off too much info at all. Much better time this time from MnM as well, as the plant will be going down in and around the 20-second mark. Mello could try and break these down. Did get a glimpse there. Why isn't he peeking Tyrant? You've just been allowed to climb up a ladder. There's no way you get away with that. Mello looking to move on through into the side. Vertical angles now being established. Uses. He's still bold as brass in the middle of sight, right next to the chassis, and he's able to shut him down.
That was a lot better from MnM. That was probably their best attacking round, I would say. It was clean, it was straight to the point. They achieved what they wanted. Ascend, leaving upstairs very, very early. And you look at the difference in those rounds. Whenever Mello was causing issues, MnM struggled big time. Yeah. Big time on that. And to see them not go for that same strategy is very surprising. You know, because as soon as MnM realized that, hey, upstairs is clear, that entire, trophy side of the map is free. And look at the damage Solotov did from just walking down a staircase. It was that easy for them. And from there, MnM again just didn't rush things. They knew they had plenty of time. They waited until they had a decent man advantage, and they went for the diffuser. And from there, again, difficult retake for Ascend. And Ascend, they've lost the lead.
For the first time. For the first time on Chalet. Ascend trail by a round. MnM have done a great job of fighting from the back foot this whole time to get themselves onto an overtime match point, especially given the way that this game started. They went 4-2,
very slow. They were down, very slow.
And even on their attacks, it took them a while to really get warmed up, but they've got to be feeling a little bit more confident now. Officer Master, the side that they have chosen to start things off here. Also, where they could choose to finish it all. Overtime match point lies in MnM's hands. They win this, we head into Villa. Still a chance for another round of Chalet to be played if Ascend clutch up big. And if we get to that point, well, who knows where we may end up. Electroclaw just getting hidden there. Shouldn't be too much of a problem, given the amount of Twitch we've seen. Twitch's hit list is typically 1 bulletproof camera, 1 Electroclaw, said and done.
Yeah, it's a shopping list.
It really is.
Yeah, Revan's done well on that operator. Been able to sneak in, get plenty of utility, but then equally so of MnM. Usus has done the same. Like I said earlier, a good highlight of how good Twitch can be on Chalet. So, Ascend, looking to set up. Pretty bog standard, all nothing too out of the ordinary. Going in towards Library. Nobody from MnM are looking to hold. Too aggressive, nobody looking for an offsite hold. I wonder if MnM are going to try and go for those roams again, like those kind of late flanks, because the biggest issue for MnM is the late flanks were not working. Ascend had everything covered. The issues that MnM have been able to terrorize other teams with playing that playstyle, it's not going to work against them. They seem to always get that opening kill. They always have an extra man who's always ready to fight off those roamers.
And they've often found that by getting the opening pick. Ascend getting the opening pick has given them that extra man to be able to commit to the flank watch. So if that is something that they're able to achieve here, then sure, they might be able to get away with it. Twitch drone has been lost there, just caught out inside of the mute jammer. It can, of course, just be collected. You can walk up and grab that. But Mello needs to try and deal with the jammer. Instead, he's going to try and put shots in onto Neo. Gets a couple in. Neo just get caught out of position there. Toxic Babe canister to assist. Worried about the window hopping at the same time. The net is tightening, but this opening pick is not coming as easy as it has in previous rounds, Demo.
No, it's been a much more slower paced round from both sides. MnM, I think, not trying to give Ascend that opportunity at an opening pick. That Twitch drone eventually will get snuck into the site and will eliminate the Electroclaw. In goes the Thermite charge to open up the breach. Another nade will be tossed in, but plenty of ADSs will try and cover Neo. That one somehow was able to explode Ollie, but didn't really bother him, didn't explode anywhere near him. He's still alive and well. That shield is still up. But here comes the Flores drones. This is the issue now for Neo, is can he stop these drones coming in to try and blow up his shields?
That's going to be the big problem at the moment, as you say. The Flores drones, the Roteros, they're going to be able to get in. They are going to cause a problem. Easy's going to find the opener, but immediately is traded back 1-for-1. The Flores drone's actually gone all the way in quite deep, but Neo has been able to move himself out. More kills now flying in for MnM, as Neo is still able to live inside of the piano. He finds one before being traded. Users Tyrant and Solotov, they have to face up now, as Users is going to be down in the fight. Revan equally so. Tyrant to pick up the last kill. Look at what that means for the boys. Users lets out a roar like a lion.
Oh, welcome to the screenshot, Josh, because that is going to be a great one for the Hall of Fame. Oh, Users, I mean, what a performance from him. I think it's well needed. Bit of aggression there from him. But what about Tyrant in that round? Phenomenal from Tyrant to find a double kill, where, again,